Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just How I am playing Final Fantasy XIV. There's a cat right underneath the microphone. Be aware. You may hear noises. Anyway, last episode we fought Leviathan on the World Eater and saved the people of Limsa. And today we are gonna go and begin the episode by fighting Leviathan in his extreme version, which is a lot more difficult. But well, yeah, I'm first gonna have to gather a crew, so I'll be right back until we, when we actually get to begin. Alright, here we are. That did not take nearly as long as Thornmarch went. Or the Moogle King, whatever. However, we'll have to see how, long the fight itself is going to take, because it's not particularly an easier fight. That is, if the two DPS would like to acquiesce to their request of being asked to join the dungeon, or the trial to be precise. Also, this cat is doing weird things and needs to move now. There we go. Good. That works out for me. Hey, look, this thing is not gonna pop, huh? Fucking hell. Of course it isn't gonna pop because two DPS are sleeping. Be right back again. Oh, actually no. There we go, nice. Alright. Now let's see, my friends. Let us see how this will go, because it's a duty finder one this time, which means mentors usually. Either mentors or people who do not know what they're doing. So this is gonna be fun. Look at these pictures. Okay. I guess I'm going to be main tanking now. Which is intriguing because I usually off-tank this fight. However, it doesn't matter regardless. Let's get going. Two, one. Go! So, one of the biggest changes to this fight, in Extreme in any case, it's gonna be a mechanic that's gonna reveal itself at a later point. In any case, the same as with the normal fight, the main tank takes the big head, like the main head, and the off tank takes the tail. Now, a thing that is a little bit different, however, is that in this particular version of the fight, the off-tank does basically everything. So, the off-tank is the one who takes the tail, but also deals with the adds in the meantime. So he needs to grab the adds and hold on to the tail. The reason why you cannot do this as main tank particularly is because if you are main tanking, Leviathan sometimes does a cleave, basically. This over here, Dread Tide, just like a, I think it's like a line attack, which can be really nasty. Okay, something else went wrong. Whatever, that's fine. Anyway, this is the reason why the main tank cannot really join the rest of the party in the other stuff. Off tank takes all of the adds, you kill the bubbles, just like before. Another mechanic, which is a hero-specific thing, are these over here. Briny Veil. The person who is tanking the tail is going to get hit with a debuff, which is going to make it so that he, Jesus Christ. Oh god. It is in any case going to make it so that, whenever you heal this tank, you're going to get one of these stacks. And the more of these you have, the less you're going to be healing. So it's kind of like a thing where one hero needs to heal and then the next hero needs to heal and wait for their stacks to be gone. Another thing is that you need to use this on time. Once you have enough elemental conversion, he's going to do a dash across the platform like that, and then he's going to do his big attack. If you do not use the shield, you will die. Another thing that now has changed is the railings are gone. So you need to go to the correct side, otherwise you will get yeeted. Another little side note. I was gonna say something. Another little side note, there we go, is that back in ye olde day, when you fell off of a platform in a fight, you could not get rest anymore. At least in a Realm Reborn. As a result, fights like this and Titan were really difficult because once you fell off, you were dead for good. Another thing that happened earlier in the fight, but that we didn't really get to see properly, is a very specific ad. You have Wave Spine, but then there's also another type of ad who casts Ruin. But that dude can put a puddle on the floor that when you walk into it gives you Hysteria, which means that you'll be like confused basically, you'll be running around randomly. Which is very deadly when there's no railing anymore. So from this point onward, that ad needs to be taken down immediately. However, there's a fun little trick to him. When he is casting his spell, I think it's like Dread Wave, where he does an AoE version of it and just hits everybody. Normally you cannot stun him in that mode, I guess. However, there is a little exception to that. Oh god, jeez. That exception is Shield Bash. Yes, the Paladin's Shield Bash allows you to stun him while he is casting. Normal low blow doesn't work. Only Shield Bash works to stun him while he is casting. It's a very small little like exploit, I guess, but it works and it's a godsend because that ad usually kills, you know, the entire team. Oh Jesus! I hope that was fast enough. No, nah. Oh my God! Somebody lives. Raylac lives. Oh my God! He's alive! That is wild. That is absolutely wild. Okay, I'm gonna like help with this boy because I want to stun him because otherwise we're gonna die. Darkness and Dread Wash. Oh, okay. I hope that was good enough. Oh my God. Dreadstorm. Stun. No, he's invulnerable now. Shit. Watch out for the puddle. That puddle's gonna make us feel bad. Leviathan. This is going smoothly. No, that's a lie. This is going horribly. Hey, but at least we haven't died yet. I'm still invulnerable, so I guess that's not really too big of a problem. Whee! I hope that this is a nice like display of how insane some of these extreme fights can be. And insane, I mean just like a mess. More than anything else. Another thing that I actually totally forgot to mention is the head reflects range damage over here. And the tail reflects magic damage, so depending on which type of DPS you are, you need to attack the correct side. Melee can attack whichever side they want. I cannot believe that we are still alive. I cannot believe that we are still alive. Raylac, the fucking Pope, lives through hell and everything. That is an amazing recovery. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, these people. My God. We should not have won that fight, but we did. That's awesome. I like that. Also got to the dungeons 6. Ba, ba, ba. And then there's a lot of different things that you can get. Which I think I will roll for, because, you know, why not? I rolled a 2 on that, nice. Ooh, 2 Lolafil. Let's go for the Red Mage. I like Red Mage. I actually really like this rapier, so... Nice! Wow. That's amazing. I'll be right back. Alright. We are back at the Rising Stones. I can actually try this on. That's interesting. Even though I'm not even though I don't have Red Mage unlocked. I do like this thing quite a lot, though. There's like a really nice little effect to it, although I don't really like the catalyst that much, TBH. Oh well. Let's go and do the next couple of, like the next part of the game, I guess, or next patch, whatever, as my warrior. Bidet. Our friends, the very isle itself, everyone and everything. No, it avails us not to speculate. Urianger will send word if there are any developments. Until such time as he does, we must remain firmly focused on that which is within our power to change. With that in mind, I would speak of a different matter, one close to home. It concerns etheric fluctuations which we had previously attributed to good King Mogulmog the 12th. That the king is no more is a blessing for which we have you to thank. Yet all is not well in the Dwellswood. Our latest readings reveal an ongoing etheric disturbance of considerable magnitude. They may even suggest the presence of a primal. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants immediate investigation, and I would have you... Acilia, I do not wish to interrupt, but we have a problem. What manner of problem? A band of refugees hailing from Uldah'n this time are come to Revenant's Toll seeking asylum. It would seem they expect us to afford them the same treatment we gave to Domans. At present they are in the 7th heaven, awaiting a formal response. I see. Mayhap this was to be expected. I shall meet with them at once. Acilia, you know full well we haven't the resources to accommodate many more people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread, and more will follow. Your opinion is duly noted, and I will hear their suit. Then I should be grateful for your presence at this meeting. Back to the 7th heaven. Heaven. You could speak it, heaven. Reminds me of a certain song from a certain game that I'm not going to say because it's a slight spoiler. I apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Benfilia, and I lead the Scions of the 7th Dawn. To all be praised, it is you! We're ready and willing to work, same as the Domans. Just give us the task and we'll see it done. Pray calm yourself. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know not of your situation. I beg your pardon, antecedent. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off the scraps of Uldah'n for years now, trying to piece together a life to replace the one what got took. They say there's work, but there's not for an honest man. Not as wouldn't sully his soul sooner than his palms on the road. The flames do what they can for us, of course, but it ain't near enough. And it's only getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, those rich bastards in the city didn't help us up. They climbed on our backs. I don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I knew we had to run. The only question was where, and then it came to me, Revenant's Toll. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you'd surely do the same for us. I fear the situation is rather more complicated, but it is true that we accepted the Doman's petitions for aid. The decision was the product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathize deeply with your plight, but pray understand that it is not possible for an organization of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. And so it is with great regret that I must deny your request. But we've nowhere else to go. You're turning your backs on us? If I might have a word. Totaro is all amiss. Ill tidings from Uldah'n, my lady. Alphino has been wounded. What? Is it serious? I cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be. According to the flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently, lashing out at any and everyone. That can't be right. Why would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was meant to be peaceful. Seven hells. Now the Blades have an excuse. They'll round us up and kill anyone who tries to resist. Antecedent, please, if you won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we've got. My lady. We are not the ones to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we know more of the circumstances surrounding this riot, I'm not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. If the authorities determine that the refugees attacked without provocation, then those responsible will have to answer for their actions. How can you be so blind? Find Alfino and quickly. If he is in danger, or worse, I would have you and none other by his side. Thank you. Pray do not concern yourself with the matter we were discussing earlier. Jesus, I'm having hiccups. Ida and Papa Lima will see to it. Alfino is being treated at the Hourglass. Hurry, then. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Bum, 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 bum. Why is my mouse so weird all of a sudden? Ah, I see now. Okay, makes sense. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Daddy McYeet. I love the yeet. It's such a good freaking name. Right, at the Hourglass. I keep remembering a certain quest that I still have to do in Gridania. Or in the Shroud, to be precise. Good day.
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well. Uldah'n, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. Uldah'n is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an Uldah'n, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Uldah'n way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Reborn and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Uldahns to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. While more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest. Nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
As I told you before, it is all but inevitable that an accident of this kind would eventually occur, given the rising tensions within the Sultanate. Nevertheless, I have reasons to believe that this particular riot may not have begun spontaneously. Have I piqued your curiosity? Good. Then you will accompany me to the Hall of Flames. I would hear what General Reborn has to say upon the matter. Whoopsie. The way of the samurai. That ain't happening until Stormblood, brother. Brother. What the hell's wrong with me? That's Raban. Raban. Now is not a good time, Lynn. My hands are full dealing with the refugees. Precisely the matter we wish to discuss, General. Elfino, back on your feet already? You may credit my swift recovery to your kind urgings. My memories of the riot are still somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to regain control of the situation? Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not before the unrest had spread to the surrounding territories. Pockets of resistance remain throughout Thanalan. We have sent what forces we can spare to root out the last of the belligerents, but progress is slow. They are damnably elusive. I can well imagine. Given that the majority of refugees live outside the walls, it stands to reason that they would know the lay of the land. What I do not understand is how they came to be so well prepared. Before my little accident, I observed that several of the refugees were armed, and not with butcher's knives or pitchforks, but with martial weaponry, and it hardly adds that such equipment is costly. None can deny that tensions between the Uldah'n citizenry and refugee population have increased since the Domans were turned away. But would that motivate a starving man to purchase arms in lieu of food? I think not. And one of those who have not even a single guild to spend. Who could not survive without the aid provided by the immortal flames? Surely they would sooner sell a weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors. Come to the point. Very well, my point, General, is that this powder keg of discontent was not set alight by chance. These events were deliberately set in motion, and now order must be restored. That is my first duty. Until it is done, any investigation can wait. I do not have time to discuss this. My scouts will be returning anon. The General is no fool. He keeps his own counsel, and with good cause. Were he to claim, without the necessary proof, that these riots were instigated by outside forces, the monarchists would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultana have been the most outspoken proponents of refugee aid. Regardless, they will face harsh criticism in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but I have far more faith in your abilities, Lynn. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation, independent of the authorities. To that end, I would have you make inquiries in the settlements suspected of harboring belligerents. Commander Swift will know which they are. He may balk at a request for such information, but I've no doubt that you can persuade him with your silver tongue. I, meanwhile, shall seek answers in my own way, after which we can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we? Nod. You look as though you have something to say, Lynn. Do you? What you ask is no simple favor. Were such information to fall into the wrong hands, the lives of countless soldiers would be at risk. Even so, there is wisdom in your words. An able individual may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well. The Brass Blades have reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. It may be unrelated to recent events, but we doubt it. I suggest you begin by speaking to the Blades posted there. There we go. Also, I should get my mount roulette for my very limited amount of mounts. And what brings you here, adventure? A search for refugees? Well, then you've come to the right place. Ah, you mean those refugees? Oh no, you won't find them here. Most of the people of Lost Hope have come to accept the situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like that merchant who passed through recently. Gregarious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. A friend of the Sultanate, are we? I take it this means someone has read my report. The refugees who left with the merchant have yet to return, and I'm increasingly concerned that Zazawaka's suspicions were correct. You haven't the fog is what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind, speak with Zazawaka. He will explain everything. Nah, don't hurt me. I'm not one of them. Wait, I know your face. Are you not the woman from the Church of Saint Adama Landama? 1,000 pardons, my friend. I mistook you for one of those thugs who have been tormenting us. If Leo Frigg bid you speak with me, then I take it for you've agreed to help. 12 be praised for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the flames are on the march. The others have fallen under that fanatic spell, but not I. Promises of revolution and retribution, of holding the ruling class to account and taking that which is owed? Ha! A childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few could heed my words. Now that one of our idealists has returned, however, the madness of the merchant's plan is plain for all to see. Look behind yonder tent, and you will surely understand why. Even now he babbles incoherently, so traumatized is he by the bloodshed that he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of his words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. Yet I've no doubt that merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg you, find them before he does. Oh, what are you doing? Don't draw. Why didn't you run away with me? We could have escaped together. Then you'd be here with me. Be here to soothe me. Why did you have to stay and leave me alone? Forsooth. Who are you? What do you want? It's true, I followed the merchant, and may the gods strike me down for my folly. What I will not give, you must take, he said. When we asked how, he revealed a cache of weapons he had brought and implored us to seize control of our fates. I thought about running then and there, but the others were so excited. He split us into 2 groups, sent us off on our own. But when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs, but then they started arguing, and then fighting, and then everyone was fighting, and the flames were shouting to give no quarter, and oh god, it's the other group. They're still out there. If you don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. The other refugees are hiding in the cave south of Lost Hope, but to approach them would be fruitless. They would sooner call us agents of the Sultana and try to kill us than listen to reason. Why, the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. A pox and all bloody cell sorts. They were supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during the struggle. If only we had listened to that merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous, that the gods would never suffer to be defeated. Though, if they were forced to confront reality, that's it. Challenge the twins to combat and show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one woman. Mayhap then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. I like the sheep. Beep, beep, I'm a sheep. Beep, beep, I'm a sheep. Well, it's more like I'm on a sheep, but whatever. Desperate refugee. 7 nulls, they found us. Everyone, grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So that's your game, is it? Sorry to disappoint you last, but we're more than willing to kill you ourselves. Bonk. No, really? Really now, Fred. Ho! A challenge! I'm not a hoe. You're a hoe. There we go. And there we go. Bro! Oh. You beat him like it was nothing. God almighty, what are we gonna do now? It just kicked our face in and then just left. Time to jump on my, like, freaking Dragon Ball looking bike and get the hell out of here. If it weren't for like the propellers, it really would look like a Dragon Ball thing. Oh, you've returned. Did you find my brother? What of the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you had no choice. Better than that a handful of them take a beating from you than a lot get butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? Huh? But where else would he be? Unless he went to Stone's Throw to recruit others? The merchant wished to approach the refugees in Stone's Throw, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity. Now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of this futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him, convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead us to ruin. The Mount Roulette is very much enjoying the sheep. The ship. Have you seen my parents? They told me to stay here with the others. They said they'd be back soon, but it's been days. They left with the man from Uldah'n. The man said they were going to change everything, make it so we could live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry and I got scared. Say, miss, are you looking for someone? I'm looking for a merchant. You mean the man who left with my parents? But I don't know where he... Wait, look over there. I think that's him. Well, now, which of these gullible fools shall be my next victim? They're just like, up and victims. Hey. Slowly unsheaths axe. I. Alright, off we go. Bongos. He's getting away. Go get him, miss. Ah, perfect. Who will be my next victim? As Lynn grabs her axe and cleaves him in twain. You again! Why are you pursuing me? Sedition, treason, revolution. That's preposterous. Who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees? The self-same refugees who terrorize the streets of Uldah'n? Huh. You have no evidence to prove your accusations. None. No, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. For the sake of argument, let us say I did do some things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a Kieran's arse about politics? It was business, only business. We both know I am not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I shall tell you everything. What's all this commotion? 7 hells. Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. Now what if I was a bard? Would they be suspicious then? Hold, Venture, I would know more about your relationship with the victim, as well as the events leading up to his death. This man was responsible for the recent riots. Mayhap we owe his murderer a debt of gratitude. In any case, it is obvious you are not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, Zion. If I remove... No, my tank sense was removed. I kind of wonder how I get rid of this freaking effect. There we go. It's kind of, you know, obstructing my vision. Let me also go and change something else. I'm going to be back in a second. So you can hear, as you get to hear the beautiful sounds of me moving around. There we go. Yeah. Yump. What news, Lynn? Where's the merchant? Murdered? Damn it all to the seventh hell. He was not simply murdered, Lynn, he was silenced. Too many knew his face, and he was ready to divulge his secrets. Do not despair, though. We may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you think, or than you realize. The Flame General left word that you are to proceed to the Fragrant Chamber as soon as you return. He wishes to discuss your recent discoveries, as well as the result of our own investigation. Master Belfino has already been informed, and should be waiting for you outside. Pray proceed to the Royal Promenade with all haste, and speak with Bartholomew. That's such a wild freaking name to me, Bartholomew. The Chamber of Rule. We've been expecting you, madam. Please proceed inside.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room. The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji? But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield.
That's the PvP area, by the way. Anybody who might be not aware.
The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagon ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill, a shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Uldah'n ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean Alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Omega.
Pardon?
An Uldah'n monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Uldah'n inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself. If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats, given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation. Destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon. One which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Power enough to subjugate Uldah'n like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldah'n.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
Yep, she was like, oh wait. I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intended to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? That they never felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interest to learn of more of the military activities in the disputed territories. Fortunately, you are already well positioned to do so, Lieutenant Ladair. Pray keep us informed of any developments in Cartana. Begone, whelp. This is no place for children. I'm sorry. What an asshole. I was looking for you, miss. You said you were looking for the man who had left with my parents. You know this girl? Explanation. Dialogue. So he visited Stone's Throw as well, I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I am afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go look for them together. Really, you'll help me look, mister? Of course, but first I must needs finish speaking with my friend. She's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. Mayhap you could wait for me by that pillar over there? Be required by the moment. Okay, mister, I'll be waiting. I'll take her to the quicksand. Perhaps Momodi will know what to do. A legion of guardians, an ether-starved primal, even dealing with an Asian would be preferable to the Sharab. Sometimes I fear Minfilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats as they arise, without concern for the strain it places on our limited resources, and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. Lyn, this is Minfilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Revenant's with all due haste. The situation in the 12th has taken a turn for the worse. I will explain in detail once you arrive. That's Wellswood. Then the primal's threat she spoke of before has been confirmed. I have received no reports of Ixali activity, which leaves the sylphs. Go, Lyn. You know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedence over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform the antecedent that while I am grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I am more than capable of protecting myself. Quest accepted. Pray return to the rising stones, yes. We're gonna finish off this quest and that's gonna be the end of the episode, by the way. BTW, as they say. In the gaming language. Is that even gaming language at this point? I don't know. Entrance to the solar. Hello. It's a relief to see you healthy and hale. Why? The latest news from Uldah'n was most disturbing. Clearly, the only injury Alfino suffered was to his ego. Doubtless it will heal ere long. The other Scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you are ready to begin, I will summon them now. We will do that in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Justo. I was playing Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode we're going to go and deal with apparently the Lord of Levin. Goodbye.